horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Mandy G. Welcome to day 4 of Wildeye Week, and this time we're going to review the supernatural horror film called The Devil's Well. Uh-oh. Now, The Devil's Well is a 2018 found-footage documentary horror film that was written and directed by Curtis Spieler. This film stars Brian Mainley Davis, Curtis Weimeister. I know I pronounced that one right. David Alexander, Joel Grant, Kristen Searby, and Laura Swona. Now, in this found footage documentary horror film, Carla Marks mysteriously vanished while conducting a paranormal investigation with her husband. After a year after her disappearance, a group of paranormal investigators attempt to uncover the truth about her disappearance. Oh boy, here we go again. Now, when it comes to supernatural horror films and found footage, we seem to be coming with another sub-genre where we have paranormal investigators. They're the ones that go in and investigate things like we see on Ghost Hunters or Ghost Hunters International. They go into these spooky places and try to see if we can find any proof about the afterlife. Now, when it comes to horror films, what they do is they actually take this concept and do found footage, as we saw in the horror film Grave Encounters and Grave Encounters 2. In that particular horror film, we had a group of a well-known ghost paranormal investigators, and they go into his prison or some other type of insane asylum or whatever type of place that they go into, and they actually show them filming, and of course crazy shit happens. And that's what we have here in The Devil's Well. Now, in this found footage film, we have sort of like a half and half. We have a sort of a documentary style part of the film, like you're watching an episode of Dateline Secrets Uncovered, and then we get to the found footage part in the second part of the movie. In the first half of the movie, we're introduced to Brian Marks. He and his wife, Carla Marks, were paranormal investigators. They have this website, and they go and try to document these weird shit that happen on throughout the country. Unfortunately, they go and investigate this place called the Devil's Well, and she disappears. So in the first part of the film, like I said, is this pure, typical documentary style. We have the police investigation. We see interviews with Mark and her, Carla's mother and father. We see their friends, just like we see in mostly all these true crime TV shows, whether it's on ID or Oxygen. But the only thing we don't get to see, we don't see reenactments. No reenactments here, but just straight documentary style setting right here. And I kind of like that. We really get some good background of the characters right here. And I thought all the actors in the first part of the film actually did a good job. Now, of course, as we come with all of these type of documentaries or true crime shows, the spouse is always the lead suspect. And Brian, he gets arrested, he gets released, but he can't evidence to hold him. So a year later, he finds his friends, and they're part of this group called Signs. I think it's Supernatural Investigators of the Greater North, if I got that correct. They decided to go back to the Devil's Well and try to find any evidence to prove that he had nothing to do with Carla's disappearance. And that's where we get to the found footage part of the movie. Now, again, I really have to give the filmmakers credit on how they set up this movie. It's kind of a different style, because we've seen kind of like this style before, where we have part documentary and part found footage. I know other parts of the documentary give you sort of like a Blair Witch feel, because some parts are filmed in black and white. We actually get footage of her and Brian and his wife Carla while they're investigating the well. We get that part. That's definitely like Blair Witch style vibes in that part of the film. Unfortunately, when we do get to the found footage part of the film, that's when the film pacing kind of slows up. There are kind of long takes in between the people when they're setting up, and it takes kind of a long time, and it kind of slows down the pacing of the film, because we were actually getting invested with all the characters right here. But when you get to the Signs part of the team, really not kind of invested in them, and it kind of takes all the energy out of the film. I thought the actors did a pretty good job. They're not great jobs, but I give them credit for what they were given with, and they do a pretty good job with it. And I thought the at least the setting in the basement that they go into, whatever this devil's well is at. I thought it was pretty good. You have claustrophobic feelings right there. You do get some tension. So I actually believe they actually did a pretty good job. Like I said, it's the pacing kind of slows up when we get to the found footage aspects of the film. But overall, I actually did enjoy this film. So I will give the filmmakers credit for at least attempting to do something. And like I said, it's filmed very nicely. I like the Blair Witch elements of the film. Like I said, despite the pacing issues, I think a lot of people have actually enjoyed this film. So I'm going to give The Devil's Well 3 live mics. Actually, let's change that one. I'll give them 3, what are those, live cameras out of 5. Like most of all these movies I'm watching on Wildeye, they are available on Tubi. So if you have seen The Devil's Well, tell me what you thought about it. Did you actually enjoy this film? Do you think this is something better than some of the other found footage movies that we've seen? Leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about The Devil's Well. Now also, if you did like this video, please like and share because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. Haha! And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.